Cheers and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We are going to talk about goal setting, planning, starting, following those dreams for an awesome 2025. So, what are you going to learn? First, we're going to talk about 10 practical steps to kind of keeping those goals that I know are kind of churning in your mind. And then we're going to talk about emotional steps to moving forward, 7 action items for total success. We're going to go over a stager designer's marketing calendar. We're going to brainstorm example goals for stagers designers, regardless of what level that you're at. We're going to talk about systems, strategies, and I'm going to share lots of real stories from people just like you and successes, goals, and photos. If I give you lots of good information, is it okay if I tell you about a handful of training specials I am doing this week? And if that is okay, go ahead in the chat and put, yep, that is fine. Thanks. You guys are great. So, who is this for? You are in the right place, frankly, if you love design, if you're passionate about staging and design. So, it's really for people who are new stagers and designers, people who are thinking about the industry, have always wondered what that's about, real estate agents who are looking into staging and design. My veteran stagers and designers are going to learn a thing or two on this too. Oh, look at you guys sending the love. I love it. Uh, Even if you're a design enthusiast, color lover, you're going to learn something. I do this workshop kind of once a year and I change it up kind of every year. And it's a lot of fun because it's about us really thinking and reflecting on our year. Basically, if you like to see photos that go from this to this, you're in the right place. And if that's you, go ahead in the chat and put me. Yeah. Who doesn't, right? Here, I'm going to turn this up. Who am I? If you don't know who I am, my name's Audra Slinkey. I'm president of the Home Staging Resource, and I kind of started the first kind of mixed media online staging and design training way back in 2006. If you see this logo, those are my people through my certification, 3-week certification in staging and design. I've blogged, I've won lots of awards for each one of my courses and products. I've shared the stage with Barbara Corcoran, Sabrina Soto, Vern Yip at RESA Convention. But the thing that I really, really love, the thing that makes me passionate every day, is having trained the most successful stagers and award-winning stagers in the industry. So it's really exciting. I love to see people just like you, those of you who said you were just kind of looking into the industry, love design, but don't know how you can pursue that. That's my gig, taking your passion and helping you make money doing what you love. After I started the staging certification, I started a color certification. That's a 3-day course, a 3-day expert e-design certification where people can actually do design plans for clients. And then my most recent course is an Airbnb design, vacation rental design, and that's another 3-day course. So lots of different courses I love to train. That puts me in my sweet spot. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. And I'm going to warn you. And I'm so glad I can already tell that you guys are an active chat group. And I really rely on you guys to do this because every time I do one of these, I get very nervous and I really do read through what your comments and commentary. I learn something from each one of these workshops. So I want to ask you, this is where we're going to get a little personal. This is my most personal workshop. So I'm appreciative of any sort of transparency that you can share. But are you feeling like you're moving toward your dreams with real momentum? Do you even know what those dreams are? So that's kind of two things, is it yes? Is it no? Do you know what they are? Oh my gosh, look at you guys. I see lots of yeses. That's great. It's okay to be honest. Monique says, not really, not yet. Um, and they're just wondering what this year's going to bring, right? There's some no's, some yeses. Some people are finally in motion or moving slow. I love it. I get it. And this is just like one of those moments in time when we start a new year that it's important to really look at that. And I love this email that I got because I think it just speaks to pretty much all of us. But she's like, I'm very excited about this workshop burning question. I'm now working for myself and I need all caps structure. I need a guideline as to how to lay out my day so I don't get distracted. I never know where to start. I'm all over the place. And I know I need a routine, but I don't really like that. Do you have any resources for this? I'm not someone who likes to do the same thing twice. Do you kind of relate to her? Like you just sometimes feel like, especially those of you who are new stagers and designers, where you're just like, I feel like all day went by and I got nothing done. Yeah, I love it. Paula, thank you for your honesty. That's me. That's me. Yes, I do too. I do too. And truthfully, this is kind of how I feel a lot of times. I'm just like that hamster on a wheel and the clock is just ticking and I blinked and all of a sudden I've been doing this for almost 20 years. And the truth is, unless we're really intentional with our day and our time and focusing on pursuing what we really want, it's just not going to happen, right? So time flies, but we are the pilot, and that is the good news. And I love your comment, Renee, ready to make money, don't know how. We're going to talk about that. So let's talk about practical steps because I know you guys all came at different levels. So I'm going to speak to all levels, whether you're looking into the industry, practical steps for pursuing that dream, starting a staging and design business, or whether you're in the industry, where do I go? What are some good goals for my business? So we're going to talk about all of it. I always say in the beginning of every year, I brainstorm my big, what I call my big eight. And what is the big eight? The big eight is making goals for your business. If you have a business, your marketing, and I separate those because what you do in your business sometimes is very different than all the marketings, two very big things. Financials, money, my physical health, my family, my spiritual health, my need to be creative, my creative, and we all have that need, you guys. So making sure that we're fueling that and my personal. So those are a lot of things. And I just throw those goals, all those things that I really want for those eight all on a piece of paper. You just write it all down. And I gave you kind of a little mini workbook. We're going to look at it where you can do that, or you can just write it down on a piece of paper. And don't hold back. Don't hold back. In the chat, okay, this is where I'm going to ask you to give me some ideas. What are some of your big goals that you've thought of for 2025? Here's the thing. This is why I give this workshop kind of midway through the month because I don't know about you, but it took me a while just to pack up all my Christmas stuff, get all that. So just thinking about what I want to get done for this next year kind of takes some time. And I asked my group that. I love that. Peg said she wants some order, some organization, more consistent, some balanced work life. I love that. Start the home stage and redesign business. Absolutely, Brianna, that's smart. Mary Beth, she wants to grow her business or just personal growth, maybe. Launch e-design, vacation for my birthday, consistent. I love it. Stage one house. That's a great one. Make money, pay it forward. Figure out my niche in staging and design. I love that. Scale my business. You guys are great. These are all good. Keep them coming. I love this because they're always good ideas and you're giving other people really good ideas. And I can see that you're all at all levels, whether you're looking to start something successful or whether you're willing to scale, you want to grow. We're going to talk about all of that. So once you throw all those goals on a piece of paper, it's time to cut, cut, cut. And here's the easy way to cut out all those things that you think you want that maybe not what is today. So you have to ask yourself, this is a pretty obvious one. What's the benefit? What's the payoff for making this happen? And you could want to scale your business, and there's a big payoff, probably financially, but you have to also look at the negatives on your time and your freedom and that sort of thing. You need to also ask yourself, how does this benefit other people? Because it has to benefit you, has to benefit other people. And more importantly, and this is a big one for those of you who are wanting to start something new or start a service or a niche, what do you have to become or what do you need to learn to make it happen? Yourself. And for some of my goals, it's not just what do I need to learn like to do this. Some of it is maybe there's some things I just need to outsource. Maybe it's a goal that I'm not going to complete, but I need to outsource it from my business so that it gets completed and I can focus on being in my sweet spot. So these are just some of those kind of key questions I want you to ask after you put those goals down. And after this workshop or sometime this week, carve out some quiet time for you to do this. And I promise you, it'll go miles in your business. And this is that worksheet that I kind of walked you through those big eight, the goals, and then you write down kind of what are the little mini steps that it's going to take for you to reach that one goal. And you guys all, I love that you were so honest talking about those goals. And some goals are like way up here and it takes 20 mini steps to get to that one goal. So it's not going to be something obviously that happens overnight. And I like to call them intentions. And I encourage you to do the same thing because it's really about us being determined and intentional about reaching those dreams, about getting that stuff done. And it's those multiple intentions that really help us meet those goals, right? The baby steps. And then also removing the time suckers. How many of you feel like so much of your time is just kind of sucked away? I spend way too much time scrolling sometimes, and I know that's not being productive. So focusing on what you are passionate about and good at, that's the biggest benefit to you and others, and remove the rest. I know that sounds easy, but I know in our lives how busy we are, it's not always. So, like I said, I use the word intention. Intention means you have a particular resolve. You're resolved to get this done for yourself. And I like that word because it's important, it's significant. Those are the words that kind of center around intentions. So if I had a goal to lose 20 pounds this year, and who doesn't, pretty much every New Year's resolution for me for the last 20 years has been that. Um, it would be all those mini intentions, right? To meet there. The intention would be to exercise every day. Another intention to cut out sugar. And these are all those steps to count calories and then to measure my success by maybe weighing myself weekly. So it's listing out those intentions for each one of those big goals that'll get you there. So for some of you, I know you mentioned your goal is to start a staging and design business. And these are steps you can do this week, and then they're free. Start researching stagers and designers in your area. Start looking at the niches that they follow and some of the business that they're getting, because some of your areas are very hot for some avenues of design versus others. Choose a name for your business, and this is reserve it at GoDaddy for $15. That gives you some power in what you're doing. Even if you do nothing with your business but you have that domain, it's that reminder that that dream is still there for you. Start studying your craft. I know you all love design. What are some of you in the chat room? I love to hear. What are your favorite sources for finding design inspiration? I mean, I personally, I'm a little old school. I like looking at hows. I subscribe to Domino, Pinterest. Yeah, even searching Instagram. I know, and it's helpful, but it doesn't always give you the nuts and bolts. But some of that stuff, like I'm still old school. I love reading design books, but always studying our crafts. This is what we love to do, and then start working on your craft by actually transforming spaces in your own home or in a friend's home, because truthfully, that is going to be your portfolio. You're working on something, you're moving forward, and then also just creating your own story. You can create for free on Canva, electronic business cards, marketing materials. Canva.com is an awesome free marketing resource online. You can go to that website. Every entrepreneur probably uses it. And then just get the word out to friends. And sometimes I just encourage people, because I get emails from people who say, Audra, financially, I can't afford, to leave my full-time job. I can't afford the certification. I get it. I mean, obviously, I would recommend you invest in my certification training, and you're going to cut through a lot of months of heartache and hard work. But the truth is, there's so much you can do for free to move toward that goal. Um, Working on your portfolio, working on your mission and what you want to do. And those would be all the many intentions. So for those of you, how many of you in this are currently new stagers or existing stagers, and your goal is to make six figures in consultations with your business this year? I know everybody has their financial goals. You'd have to break that down. So what are the intentions? How do you break that down? Well, you need at least probably two staging consultations a week. That's $500, so 250 a piece. That's generally around what they charge. Most stagers charge across. I'm generalizing here to North America. One of those maybe leads to a staging day where they need you to come in. They need you to shop for them for some things. Come in, rework their home. That's 700. Maybe you get a color consultation from it and some shopping. And you have to outline how much business you expect to do. How many people do we need to contact every week from a marketing perspective to make that happen? And then maybe a move-in design. And that would get you about 2,500 a week and 130,000 a year. And when I say consults, because I know a lot of you say, Audra, I don't have the money for inventory. Don't all stagers need inventory? No, they don't. A lot of stagers, a lot of my members just do occupied consultations. That's where the seller is planning on living there. So you're not going to put your stuff in their home. You're going to have them buy finishing things that will just finish out their home. So there's kind of two different kinds of staging for those of you who had questions on that. But you could still easily make great money just doing consultation type of work. So here's what I do. So everybody always asks me, Audra, how do you get so much done? How are you running, your 7-figure business, and you are always come up with new ideas? You blog every week. Like, how are you doing this? So I use a 4-week bird's eye calendar. I gave you the calendar that I use in that workbook, and I write down my plan goals for that week. And sometimes they're small things because I'm gone, or I'm, doing something else, or I have personal goals. Remember, we have all those goals that fit the big eight. It's not just about our business. And then I write my completions weekly. Um, and then I always recommend you focus on three things, just three things. You wake up in the morning, there are three priority items that you need to do that aligns with your goals, your passion, and your talent. And sometimes that priority is going to your son's football game, or something like that. But you write down those three things, because it's not always that you need to do more. Sometimes it's that we need to focus on less. I love it. You guys are good. Here is that. Did you guys all put in the chat? Did you all download this? My goal setting, my productivity calendar. And yes. So there's two pages. There's one that's the month long that has the goals and the accomplishment, and there's no space. I put no branding on that. So I always print out a few of those for myself to plan my next few months. And then there's the next one, which is a 2-week calendar. I'll send it to you guys via email after this too, but it is in some of the other it is in the emails that I sent to you in the past, and the email yesterday too. If you didn't go look, it's there. So anyway, busy, as you know, does not mean productive, because sometimes we'll be scrolling on Instagram, getting inspired, but that doesn't mean we're getting much done to reach our goals. I calendar my intentions, the little steps, all those little steps in pencil on my calendar. That's this calendar. And then I put the three priorities, just three, I'm keeping it to three, in pen, because those are the three things I absolutely need to get done. So that's kind of the easier way to do it. Because here's the reason. I know you guys are thinking, what is wrong with you, Audra? Don't you use Google Calendar or what's And don't worry, yes, I do. I use technology, but here's the deal. When people write down their goals and their intentions, writing it down, the act of writing things down, your plan, you're 42% more likely to achieve it. 42%. So if you want to give yourself a 42% better chance at achieving those goals, write them down. And I told you, I write them down twice. I write them down. Here's my week, and then I write them on my month. Scheduling those action goals in advance will triple your chance at success. I love it. A lot of you guys are like, I love writing. So that's great. You can't read my writing, but it will triple it. So this is that calendar. Here's the goals on the left. And then I actually do recommend you write down what you've accomplished in the week for that calendar. Because how many of you feel like sometimes you get through a week and you're like, what did I do this week? What did I get done? Like nothing. You feel like you're just busy, but not necessarily moving forward with that momentum that we talked about. So that's why when you write down what you did accomplish, those little three things each day, you're celebrating the wins. Celebrate your wins. We don't celebrate our wins enough. So quick emotional steps for success. And I don't know about you guys. Do you guys all have a pretty good morning routine? Are you feeling good about your morning routine? Yes, no, any hot tips on your morning routine? I love it to see different things in the chat. You guys are great. So I use acronyms a lot. Anyone who's taken my training knows this, and I do this as a trainer because it'll help you to remember. So I kind of use, this is like a quick acronym. It's called RESET. So RESET acronym for productivity in the morning. And it starts with R. Just wake up and remind yourself of something motivating, something good, grateful, inspiring, energy focused, maybe even say it out loud. You're waking up kind of with positivity. And I know that's hard sometimes, because those of us who sleep with our phones next to us, it's not always the first thing we want to think about. E, establish your priorities for the day. We talked about that. You can have your calendar in front, or you can do it the night before, picking your top three. S, visualize. So even this morning when I got up and I thought of something great today, I visualized you all and visualized you guys meeting with me tonight, and it being a really encouraging and inspiring for all of us get together, right? Our happy hour. So I'm then visualizing kind of that success and then eliminating those energy suckers. I told you, not just time suckers, but sometimes those energy suckers, those habits, those limiting beliefs, maybe even some negative activities that we've kind of built into our habits. And then T, finally, for the reset, time to do what you love. Carve out an hour, just an hour. Fill your creativity. Maybe it's just an hour rearranging a corner in your kitchen. Make sure you take the before photo, just so that you're kind of fueling that creativity, or maybe learn something new. Like what you guys are doing right now. You gave yourself this hour today, which is great. You're already way ahead of the game. Because here's the thing, here's the truth. And Steve Jobs, he's a pretty smart guy. If you're working on something that you really care about, you never have to be pushed. The vision, the dream, it pulls you. Do you guys, you kind of get that? The moment you're feeling like you're having to be pushed in what you're doing with your business or life, that's when you know you've got to stop, take a moment and go, is this really that important? Is this that priority? Because it should be pulling you. And that's what people tell me when people start my training, when they're finally kind of moving forward with staging and following their dream of what they love, they can't put it down because that vision, it just pulls them. They're so excited about it. And it's really true. So what percentage of your time is spent doing what you love and care about? Go ahead in the chat and I'm curious. Is it 10%, 50%, 90%? Obviously, we're not counting sleep time, even though I do love my sleep. Peg, you are a superstar, 90%. Yvonne, I love it. That's great. That's good. I love it. Yeah, because when we really think about it in those percentages, it's kind of eye-opening, isn't it? So for some of us, it's just a matter of believing in yourself and your ability to learn what you need to grow. So many times we have that kind of limiting belief, like, I could never see myself do this. But the point is, you have the ability, all of us can learn. You're here learning right now. We all have the ability to learn and do what we need to grow in whatever that goal is. And raising those dream standards, challenge yourself with your dreams. I love this. This was when somebody gets their certification with my training, they fill out a little form for feedback. And this feedback that she sent me was, when I signed up for this course a couple months ago, I had no idea that I would be launching my business a few months later. And I kind of cracked up when I saw the sentence that she sent, because I'm like, you spent money signing up for a course to start a business. But she still had that limiting belief in her mind that she was like, no idea. Okay, I'll spend the money, but this isn't going to happen for me. Right. And then she said, what I thought was just preparation for a distant dream is becoming a reality right now, since Audra walked me through all the important steps to make it happen, which I kind of love that. Her distant dream is becoming her reality. Part of making that become a reality is, for some of us, we have to be true to our boundaries. Maybe say no to the wrong client. My current stagers, you knew that was a red flag client, and just say no. Don't be too desperate to take the wrong kind of client, or raise your prices, or creatively work around maybe obstacles in your business. I love it. Robin says, I've had to do that. Yes, I get it. I love this story. I just got Jennifer Ortiz just sent me this email Wednesday. And you guys know I love to share stories and successes. And she says, Audra, I hope you're all well. I've not finished the course. However, I have a lot of realtors who already want partnerships with me. What? Obviously, she's a superstar, a realtor in her office. She's already done a couple jobs for already. Now, an obstacle in her business, she said, I don't have the means to buy furniture at the moment, inventory to do vacant homes. And so while a lot of stagers would just be like, that's okay, I won't take that job, I'll just do occupied, smart Jennifer here thought, you know what, I'm bringing in this business. I've partnered with this agent. I'm going to make this happen. And what she did was she connected with another local stager, and they collaborate together on the jobs that she brings her. And you can read the rest of the story. She's like, I'm learning so much. Essentially, I bring her the job. I help destage, stage, and market it, and I get a percentage of the job. And she's just doing this until she gets her own inventory. But I love, she has her website all up and running. She's just kind of launching and getting rolling and growing slowly. What a great idea, right? And I love that she's not letting the obstacles stop her. And it's okay, like I said, to just do consults. I have a lot of members who do that. I love it. She's like, I'm not turning away this business. I'm going to connect with other stagers. And I always say this, Stagers are like the nicest and best people in the world. So the moment, if you have a RESA chapter near you, that's the Real Estate Staging Association, I recommend that's another free thing you could do. Go to a meeting, check it out, and meet with other stagers. They really are the kindest people because they get into this business to actually help people. We're helping sellers make the most money on their home. We're helping people love where they live. There's no such thing as can't. And then finally, how many of you in the chat, you guys are so good. How many of you, and this is where you have to be honest, fear is a lot of times what's holding you back from doing what you know from you what you've always wanted. You could be like, and I hear this sometimes from people, Audra, I've been following you for years and I'm just too afraid. I'm afraid of what my friends and family are going to say. What if I fail? What if I'm too afraid to, make that call? Or what if I don't know what I'm doing when I get into the home? So here's the thing. You have to remove the fear by thinking different. And this phrase by one of my mentors, Marie Forleo, really hit me hard because I have my fears. I had fears for years. I never wanted to do these live events. I get nervous every time I do them, but I knew they were important to connect with you all. And she says, fear is not the enemy. Waiting to stop feeling afraid is. Spending too much time trying to defeat or eliminate your fear is what's going to keep you stuck. Action is the antidote to fear. The trick is allowing yourself to feel the fear while you take the action. Fear is natural. Make the call, even if your pits are sweating. Speak up, even if your voice shakes. Raise your prices, even if it makes you want to hurl. The fastest way out of fear is through it. And that really, really kind of woke me up in my business. And I don't know about you, but if I walked into this room, I'd be pretty afraid. As a stager, I like to share my sister's work. A lot of you guys know my sister and I started our staging business 20 years ago. She still has the business, and this is a before photo, obviously, and this is the after. I love it. You guys, such good commentary. Thank you guys for this wonderful chat. So, what would you step out and do if you absolutely could not fail? You couldn't fail. So, obviously I'd buy a lottery ticket, but, anyway, outside of that, what would you do if you could not fail? I love it. Started my business at 68 and feeling fantastic. Go Peg. I love it. You're never too old to follow those dreams, right? The tech. Yeah, I would start doing the tech or outsource the tech if it's holding you back. Design homes, get an intern. I love it. 70 and starting. I love it. So I always kind of include this in some of my trainings because I'm a big statistics person and I like to see kind of where the industry is going and how things are looking, especially at the start of a new year. As you guys are answering that question, I love it. And I've mentioned that America's housing supply, when we talk about an industry outlook, when it comes to design and staging, has never been older. Homes are old. Across North America, the average age is 42 years. When a home hits 20 years old, renovation spending just spikes at 15% more. And part of the problem is builders just stopped building, right? They just stopped in 2008. We had the bubble, it burst, and they didn't really get started. They're just now really getting rolling. So there's this renovation boom I've been talking about. It's expected to last for years. And the latest this is the residential remodeling index that kind of forecasts where our renovation, like how it's going to look. Um, Look at this forecast. It's honestly like never been higher. And this is, I don't know if you can see the small print. This is to 2028. 2028 is still going to be the highest. This is their forecast because of this renovation boom. It's a great time to be in design and staging. And that same study said data suggests a substantial number of impending renovations and moves. People have been holding back to move. They're simmering below the surface. They're poised to surge once financial conditions soften, yeah. And as a result, the remodeling industry is expected to experience elevated levels from 2025, that's this year, to 2030. So it's a great time. If you thought, oh, I may have missed the boat getting into staging and design, you have not. There's so much need in this industry because those higher rates the higher interest rates have kind of led to the renovation boom. I've been telling my stagers, get into staging first. You have realtor partnerships giving you business. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity, and it's super easy to transition it to design because every good staging job, the client wants you to go and design their home. So one thing we've been talking about, how many of you guys have interest rates on your home lower than 6%? Anyone? Yes, me. So what they're talking about, my financial advisors talking that they're mentioning that those are kind of golden handcuffs for those people who have been wanting to move, but they don't want to move and get a higher interest rate. So they think this year, so they've been incentive to stay put, repair, renovate in preparation for when they decide to sell. They think this year those golden handcuffs will come off. They're hoping at 5% interest rates predicted. We'll see. The moment those interest rates hit 5%, staging is going to go through the roof. And already my stagers have been pretty busy. So that 5% seems to be the magic number where people, it's going to boost the economy. There's going to be a flood of activity of homes. People are waiting, supposedly. Supposedly. We'll see. So the continued rise, how many of you do most of your shopping online? It's very different than what we used to be. So that continued rise in shopping and sourcing leads consumers to be overwhelmed. It leads designers to creating more concept e-design boards. Here's that continued. I mean, look how much I love to share this through, 2026 is only going up, right? My Christmas shopping, all online. I hate to say it. I never thought that that would be the case, but and the 2024 House State of the Industry, yep, you guessed it. They interior designers and decorators were the most optimistic. They think this is going to be the best kind of years. They're feeling great about their business. I just pulled this stat crazy. How many of you, if you are a stager and designer, your holiday months, the November, December, were busy? I'd be curious in the chat. Put yes. Because according to this, they were 71. In fact, busier than I mean, there's only 2 other times in the last 8 years it showed that it was busier. Crazy. So it's a great, great time. Business activity is booming. So what do I think about 2025? I think it's a great time to be in this industry. I want to encourage all of you guys. I know most of you are. Those of you thinking about it, if this was your tipping point, all forms of design are hot. As interest rates go down, staging picks up. 2025 what might be about for some of you diversifying your services, finding that signature design service. I heard some of you that was your goal to really find your niche. And the truth is there's plenty of opportunity for everyone and it's very exciting. I love this email I got a couple months ago. Kim, she had just signed up for my training and she's an event planner. So she kind of went a little hand in hand, event planning and staging. She's like, I just want to share a little story with you. I was out visiting businesses today. She was kind of selling a holiday party package that she does with her event company. And she went into a builder's office and they said, oh, you do event planning? Do you do staging? Because they saw her business card, showed design. She said, "Yeah, I'm actually going through a certification right now." And she said they were super excited about that. She's like, "Who would have thought?" I guess that's confirmation. So there's other ways, from builders to realtor partners to I like to share different niches. Here's another niche. Joey just sent me this email. Um, she said, I wanted to express how much I appreciate your training materials. I've completed my vacation rental design, e-design, and she has my website. Each of the courses provided what she needs. She wants to focus on vacation rental design. And she said, and she just sent me this email last week. She just launched her website and she gave her contact information to the largest property management company in Branson, Missouri. Now, if you live in Branson, that is a very hot place for Airbnbs. And I love that she did this. And in my training, I walk you through, yes, hit the Airbnb property managers. That property management company manages over 1,000 properties. Her contact was so excited to receive her details. They're going to share it with all the property owners and even give the property owners a bit of an ultimatum that if they don't fix their properties, they may not continue managing it because these property managers are so busy. They can pick and choose right now. There's so much. And the only way they can compete is really having them a well-designed Airbnb. And I love it. She says, and then I have a meeting January 23rd with the third largest company. So she's hot, hot, hot pursuing her niche. And I love it. It's great. She just started. So I'm going to talk now about the 7 actions for growth. 7 action items for growth. Sorry about that. Looking back to move forward, this is how we move forward with what we're going to do. Letting go in order to grow. I'm going to talk about these more in detail in just a bit. Creative and opportunity brainstorming. We're going to brainstorm different goals, different ideas. We're going to talk about calendar planning, brass tacks. We're going to look at the stager and designer's marketing calendar because there's a lot of different times throughout the year that you could be marketing different services that will do better than others. And then automating those systems, habits, patterns to consider. And then finally, the 7th, investing in your growth and niche and learning. So I've got a lot more to go through. Before I do, I told you I was going to mention I am doing a special, and I'm kicking off the year with my best special. That's coupon code at $50 off on all my courses. So on my staging, on my color, on my e-design, and on my vacation rental. So if any of you thought, okay, this is the year I'm going to add, my staging is the big course, but if this is the year I want to add, I want to level up, this is a great time. You could save 200 plus by bundling with this coupon code GREAT 2025. It expires this Friday. So to tell you, Friday at midnight. And all you need to do is put that coupon code in there. We have a little coupon code when you go to the buy section. Obviously after this training. I'll send a whole recap email afterward. Because how many of you, have any of you on this taken my staging certification training? It's my big daddy. It's for people who, if you know nothing about starting a business or starting a staging business or even getting a business going, and your confidence is not high, it's low. You want confidence, you want know-how, you want structure, you want all the information. This is the big daddy. It's 3 weeks and it's self-paced. So you take as much time as you want. So it's kind of like this. It's not live, it's at your fingertips so that you can always refer back to it and you get all the forms, the guides, everything you need. And you can see this is, it's 21 days. The first week you're establishing your staging business. The next week we're talking about marketing, and then the third week is a lot of advanced training. And I know there's other training companies, they kind of stair step it where they have a basic package and a master's package. I put the master's in the 3 weeks. So by week 3, you're learning how to do all the trade shopping, how to shop trade, how to go to market, how to get 50%. How many of you wouldn't love to get 50% off all your favorite vendors? I walk you through that, how to create those realtor partnerships that I told you that Jennifer Ortiz took my materials and was doing. I touch upon how to do model home staging. That's why when Kim was approached by that builder, she was pretty comfortable dealing with model homes and builders because I have a builder, model home staging. I have a holiday design training. Um, yeah. So that it covers all of that, gives you all of the forms, the price sheets. It's all in Word and in Canva. It's every detail you need to get started. Jenny, just send us an email. We will. Um, and it gives you the contracts, it gives you the walkthrough guides, the order sheet, even give you the walkthrough guide of when you walk into a home for an occupied consultation of what to say, what to do, and how to approach each room. A quick consultation checklist. It's all there. Do you guys can you all see me and hear me okay? If you can in the chat, go ahead and put yes. Yes. Okay. Good. We give you investment guides. These are Canva templates. They would take you months to create, to be honest. So it's basically a business in a box for staging and redesign. And I do this for all of my trainings. So you're not reinventing the wheel at all. That's kind of my approach. So we have the investment guides for your pricing. We have brochures. All you're doing is sliding in your pretty face instead of mine and putting in your logo, and they're ready to go to print at Canva. These are brochures that you leave with agents, offices, again, agent partnerships. We've got a bunch of different kinds. We have, business cards all lined up. So for those of you who are like, I don't know the first thing about marketing and that sort of stuff, don't worry. We got you covered. We have price sheets and different easy flyers that you can send in PDF, are things that you can give to your clients. I walk you through how to use them. I love it. Gina says she continuously goes back to it, and that is the goal. We have open house checklists. These are things that your clients are going to want from you as the expert, and we have them all done for you. So you're never reinventing. And we walk you through how to create kind of sales funnels so that your phone is ringing. We want you to be successful. Yeah, client, I love it. Jill says her clients love those sheets, and it is true. And then we even give you the email follow-up. It's just copy and paste, because when you get the email of somebody for, let's say, the open house checklist, you want to then send them follow-up emails so they get to know you, like you, love you, and trust you. And we have all of those for each one of my trainings, really. So it's really just plug and play, because I don't want you to spend the months and months and months and months that I did launching my staging business when it's just all there for you. Um, the color course is a 3-day course. It's kind of meant for people who already have staging and design. If they just want to do color, I walk you through step by step how to do color consultations. More importantly, I give you the cheat sheet. Top 100 Benjamin Moore Sherwin Williams colors, when to use them. This thing is worth its weight in gold. And the 6 steps to kind of picking color. The vacation rental design, you saw that that was the one that Joey took, and she's launched her business. She's following my system. I give the investment guide, the pricing, so she knows how to price it, how to partner with property managers, real estate investors, and even Airbnb hosts. And I'll walk you through how to market all that. You get specific sheets for each one of the trainings that you sign up for. This is another 3-day course. And then finally, my other 3-day course is the Expert E-Design. And really quickly, this is the one that gives you 100+ design templates in your Design Files account. Design Files is the software I partnered with back in 2017, where we started creating these so that you're never looking at a blank template. So you have all these presentation files already there for you. Yeah, who doesn't love Design Files? If you already subscribe to Design Files and you haven't taken this course, it's not even, it's like $8 a board because we're now up to over 100. Thanks, you guys. Yeah. Because if design is your passion and you're wondering how to make it happen for yourself, I'll give you the map to guide you and the confidence to start a business that you're going to love. I've done it for everybody who, just like you, was afraid, excited and afraid. It's usually how people are when they get started, and then confident leaving it. So it's A to Z. You have group and trainer support. You can always refer back to it. That's the beauty of it. You have membership for a year. And more importantly, I don't believe you should buy anything without looking at it first. I have a unheard of, really, 72 hours, no questions asked guarantee. If you jump into the training, if for whatever reason it's not a fit for you, just email us, email me, email support, and we will refund your money if you do it within 72 hours. I don't make you fill out a bunch of forms or fill out a bunch of sheets or go through all of the hoops. I just give you your money back because I'm that confident you're going to love it. Yes, this is a great time to add the e-design course because you're getting the $50 discount. If any of you, in the notes that I gave you on the bottom of page 5, I have like little mini trainings. If you're like, I really like the idea of that course, it's a free mini training. It actually shows you a little bit what's in the course, but it also kind of walks you through color, e-design, Airbnb design, and staging. So I have those mini courses. If you're not quite ready to invest, but you want to see for sure, those little mini courses will help you. Those are my bonuses to you inside your workshop notes. Hopefully you guys got that. I love Anne's story. She said before staging, she taught classes. She was an oil painter and an artist. She needed a new job. She needed to make money. How many of you feel that way? Sometimes we get into our work because we just need to make money. I know that was me when I started my staging. She knew she always had a passion for design. She had no idea staging was a career option until she stumbled onto one of my webinars, which I love. And she's so happy to be doing it as a job. This career choice was a new path for her. She had no idea where to start. Of course, I walked her through all of the details. She said she had her first job before the training had even finished. She was nervous as all hell, but because the training's so thorough, she was able to refer back to it and know that she didn't miss anything. What I love about Anne's story, and this is an old story, I've shared it before. Anne has been with me now for like a handful of years. She said, "Thank you for covering every aspect. I went into this nervous, confused with a blurred idea of what staging is, but by following the steps, she has a company she is confident about, and she's excited to make homes beautiful." And this is what she sent me after she took my course. And what I love about it is she says she feels like she chiseled 2 years off of it, of trial and error. But here she got into creative because she needed a little bit of money. But guess who she ended up hiring? Her husband and her daughter. They all work together. They still work together. And I love the story because you just don't know that little dream, that little spark that she had, that blurred idea of staging. And to this day, she still has a very successful staging and design. This is a before photo. You can see she's now doing full scale design. I love that. I love that. Because confidence does come from knowledge. So investing in your learning will inevitably lead to more confidence. Learning is that. All right. You guys are great. Let's talk about those 7 action items. Looking back to move forward. For those of you, especially who have your current staging and design businesses, let's think about the last year. What did you enjoy working on? Go ahead in the chat and put it. What did you like? What didn't you like? What were you most proud of? Did you like working on, I've had some people who really love working in retirement communities. They love to help downsize. I've had some people working with builders, some people Oh, somebody did a med spa. I love that. Um, what did you work on? They loved the tech side of what they were working on. They loved helping other stagers. They loved shopping. Um, yeah, they love specific types of design. Peg says beachfront. Maybe that's your thing. It's really about kind of thinking about what brought you alive. What did you do that felt meaningful? And if you don't know what you want to do, you follow what you love learning. I mean, I've always loved learning about design. I know you guys do too. So it was really easy to kind of step into this industry because it doesn't push me, it pulls me because you love to learn about it. Because your creativity compass is really your true north. We all have that creative compass inside us. It's just a matter of what direction we're going to take it. I love it. You guys are mentioning a lot. Shopping. Who doesn't love to shop? Vacant staging. I love that. What don't you want to do again? What did you try that maybe didn't work? Maybe some things you need to let go of. I tried some things. I do this every year with my business where I tried some things that I was like, well, maybe that didn't work as well as I thought it would, or or we won't do that. We'll try something new. Yeah, I have some of my stagers. They did some design and they weren't really super happy about that. But a lot of us, we just need to let go of the fear of failing and what people think. Just got to be you. Sometimes we don't really start doing that until we do get older. I noticed that. I saw some of you in this chat room, you're in your 60s and 70s, you're like, forget it, I'm going to do what I want to do now because you don't care at what people are going to think. It's funny how sometimes we go our entire lives to get to that point. Some of us need to let go of control. Maybe some stagers are a little too controlling. Maybe you just don't want to work weekends. That's good. Let go of that. No taking clients out of fear. We should just always let go of that or discount your service. I know I'm discounting my trainings, but I sometimes that little $50 discount is the one thing that makes people pursue their dream. And to me, that's just so worth it. The need for spaces to be perfect. How many of you sometimes feel you need to let go of the need for spaces to be perfect and move on to the next job? How are you going to activate that creativity, whatever that creativity is, in the next 6 months? Yeah. All right. So let's talk about it. If you are wanting to activate starting a business, starting a staging and design, obviously I talked about some basic steps. You want to curate your design talent. You want to ask yourself, where do you see yourself? You want to envision your success. What's your mission statement? Who do you want to work with? What is your story? What have you been doing that's led you to this point? That is called your relatable story. That's what you're going to copy and paste onto your website About Us page. And that's what's going to make clients kind of connect with you. You got to know your strengths and your weaknesses because you want to market based upon your strengths. You're going to redesign photograph spaces. I talked about that. Build your portfolio, pick your business name, and pop the champagne. Those are all things you can do pretty much for free. For those of you who have a staging and design business and you're like, well, what should be my goals? Well, I've got some ideas. Maybe some of you need to get better at recommending color. You've always been afraid of it. Or maybe you need to get better at doing design plans or expand your design services because you're just doing one thing and you worry that all your eggs in one basket. Or you want to win a RISA award. RISA, the Real Estate Staging Association, is now doing they're taking awards thing. So maybe you need to do that. Go to convention, or just your goal should be getting one agent partner a month. If you had one real estate agent partner that worked with you on all their listings, I'll tell you that could keep you busy full time. I talked about my sister's business. They work with almost just one agent partner, keeps them full time busy for 7 years. So sometimes it doesn't take much. Or some of you need to automate your marketing or your inventory. How many of you need to automate your inventory if you have inventory? Yeah, that's a update your brand. There are all these goals that just are going to propel your business forward. Ultimately, how are we going to make money this year doing meaningful, passionate work for the right kind of client and do a really good job at it? So write down those ultimate goals. You've got your calendars, you guys. Plan out those steps and feel the power of writing and planning, being specific. If your goal is to double your income, and I know how many of you in this chat would love to double your income for staging and design, consider every way you're making money and add to it. When I spoke at the last RESA convention, I asked all my stagers, how many of you actively upsell your design services to the sellers? Because they're the number one design client. They're going to be a new homeowner. How many of you actively upsell those design services to them? Like 5 people out of hundreds. raise it. So that's another way you could double. Just actively set that up. Buy more wholesale, lower your costs. How many of you want to buy more wholesale? Lower those inventory costs. Offer more value. Do a little bit more. Put more inventory in. Do more luxury staging and then raise your prices. Or like I said, broaden your services. And ultimately just increase your marketing numbers. If your goal is to add a service, and I love this story because I did this workshop, this was many years ago, but this story came out of it, where I talked about this. The goal this year, maybe you're a stager, is to add a new service to your business. Here's what you do. You create a separate page on your website that has search engine optimization juice. Let's say you want to add holiday design, because this goes with my story. Holiday design, Tampa, Florida, in your city. That's the name of your search and optimization. Be clear on your pricing, your process. On that page, you list that new service on every single profile that you have online, on your house, on your Google My Business, on your Angie's, whatever profile you have. Make sure you add that extra service that will give you extra search engine juice, and then actively run a sales funnel. I talk about this a lot in my blogs. If you don't know what that is, you can go back in my marketing, that gives them something that your client is struggling with. Holiday design, what are they struggling with? Well, they don't want to do the work, the design work. They need help with that. Ask Bard to help you kind of set that up. Bard or Gemini or Chat GPT. Now we have AI to help. Well, I gave this presentation, I talked about this, and Kathy DeLeo, her goal was to, at the time, add holiday design to her business. It took her a year, for her to launch it then in October. Now that's a huge portion of her business. That's what she does. She actually holiday designs for professional athletes, celebrities, like she does big time commercial. But it started in this workshop. Her telling herself, my goal is to add a service this year, and that's what I'm going to do. How cool is that? And now she actually gives the training in my training on holiday design. It's amazing. Remember Jennifer's story, she's very successful working with realtors. Well, no surprise. She has this is her website. I, of course, went to her website. I'm like, how is she already not even finishing the training? And she already has agents partnering with her. And she has her gorgeous website, and she gives them, you guessed it, the open house guide if they give her the email, and she has her email follow up. So she's regularly filling her marketing funnel. And remember Joey? Joey was our vacation rental person who just launched her business. This was her website page because I thought, I got to check out what these girls are doing. They're killing it already in their niches. And I love her page. She's got her glass of wine. She's my girl. Let's chat about your design project. And she said, we'll build your quote. And this is what I say in my training. Answer these quick questions to receive my detailed price and package guide. So we're having them answer some questions so that we can give them the investment guide on what the pricing is, but we're not going to stop them. If they want to schedule a call, a free call, of course, we're going to let them do that too. So if you don't have that on your website, this is a really good idea to do. And then she has the form down below. She has a great website for vacation rental. Loved it. No surprise if property managers were excited to work with her. Because getting to where we want to go with these goals of ours, it doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen through osmosis, right? It takes careful planning, productivity, and motivation. The fun thing for us, because we're in the staging and design realm, and I like to list a lot of niches and stories in my trainings to inspire you. And hopefully were some of those stories inspiring in the chat. You could put yes, no. You don't have to do all design stuff. I just like to list them all to tell you there's so much opportunity in this realm, and that's what's exciting about it. And this calendar kind of walks you through, shows you that, in the beginning of the year, everybody's into organization and trends. And of course, February, March, April, May is hot for staging, although frankly, it's been hot a lot. June, July is a lot of summer Airbnb refreshes. And then, of course, if you live in a winter area, October, November, mountain Airbnb refreshes, and also holiday design. There's a lot of different design services, if you just love to do it, that you could help people throughout the year and market accordingly. And some of you, just need to start looking at your systems in your business. So for my business people, are your consultations leading to work? Are your website visitors calling? Again, that's why I gave you a good example of 2 websites where their people are calling, but they're not calling right away. A lot of times they're calling after they've gotten the 5th email from them. Are your vacant proposals, turning out selling? Is your inventory organized? These are just all ideas for goal setting that you can kind of reflect on if you have a current business. Are you buying wholesale? I had one of my longtime veterans just send me an email and I need to get back to her. She's like, I need to go back to your wholesale training because it's in all my trainings where I walk you through how to shop trade and my favorite resources. And if you want my favorite resources for trade, I'm actually going to send it out in a blog in 2 weeks. So stay on my email list and I will give you those because that's going to go out. I do it before every market. Um, and here I am at market. So I do go to market. This was last summer. This is me and my sister and her employee that works with her. We went to market. And if you're wondering what trade and market is, these huge skyscrapers are filled with our favorite furnishing companies like Four Hands and you name it, Classic Home Art, everything decor, where you can buy it 50% off. Oh, lucky girl, Crystal's going to the Atlanta market. And if you're on the East Coast, High Point is the other one. And that's one of the many benefits to being in staging and design. We get to be a business person. We get to shop for our clients, wholesale and resell it to them. And we don't even have to have a retail store to do it. It's great. So much fun. And then that way, my sister, this is the before and after, she can take a photo room that goes like this to this because she has lots of inventory. um, are you willing to carve out time in your day to follow your dream? Ultimately, that's what we have to ask ourselves. What habits or patterns are kind of holding us back? Because here's the deal. Like I may have for many years wanted to lose that 20 pounds. And it's never an I can't. We should never I can't should not be in our vocabulary. It's usually an I won't. I'm just not willing to. I'm not willing to do it. It's not that important to me. So find those important ones and focus on that if you really want to make those things happen for you. So, what do you need to invest in? Right, skill up your 2025, focus on a premium service. What people or technology should you invest in to reach your goals? Skills training is good anytime you invest in yourself, but do your research first. Uh, I just finished one of my kids just finished getting through college. Bam! One down. I got one more still in college. What an investment we invested in their college experience. But that's something that you can't take away from yourself whenever you invest in your own learning. I invest thousands in my own learning every year because when you put it in here, it's a great place to be. Here I'm going to end with Anne. She says, I say just do it. Even if you're on the edge, still deciding, start the program, start the course, see what happens. You'll be amazed how much motivation comes. Again, you're not pushed, you're being pulled from going through the program. The determination for her came on its own, and it was a snowball effect. Before you know it, your whole business is already created and you're ready to play. And I love that. So encouraging. Look at you guys. Because details and systems matter, structure matters. All of that I have for all of the trainings. It will literally make or break your business. Um, and I'm going to skip. I've got testimonials. I don't have anyone not happy because I don't want to. Because the thing that I do get from people um, is in the end, they only regret the chances they didn't take. And I wish I started this earlier. Some of those other testimonies I skipped through in the interest of time, a lot of people had said that. I don't want that to be you. Whatever that goal is, whatever that dream is, it's worth it for you to have. And I hope this is your year to pursue it. Uh, another reminder, coupon code great 2025. If it's with me, great. I hope, did you guys learn a thing or two hopefully in this workshop? If you did, go ahead and put yes. Hopefully even those calendars, I mean, start kind of writing those things down. Hopefully that'll help you. It definitely, I mean, I'm telling you, I practice what I preach. I've been doing this for years. It expires on Friday. Coupon code great because I want you to have a great 2025. So if you learn something from me in this 1 hour, imagine 3 weeks with me or 3 days for me, depending on the course that you're interested in. Thanks, you guys. You guys were an absolute joy. I'm so excited about wherever you are, whether you're dreaming of a business or have a business. I'm excited about where you're going to take it this year. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you thought. And also what maybe some of those goals were, or some of the goals that you saw in this chat that motivated you. And know that I will be sending you this replay. And once we get it up, it takes some time. And sometimes in the replay, I like to go back and pause and read through the chat because sometimes you're so focused on looking at me, you don't get to see all the good chat. This was you guys were a really good chat group, and I will be going back through it and looking at that chat myself. Thank you. Thank you so much. Cheers, and have a great rest of your night.